Duff is one of my favorite players ever, and we already analyzed his style in detail. However, a few weeks ago, somebody posted a comment underneath the video pointing out something that I hadn't noticed before. We already know that Duff is known for his punk rock vibe, a combination of looks, a wild and trebly tone, which is unusual for a rock band, and most importantly, a steady and simple picking style. But there's one little thing that went under the radar, one single note that played in the appropriate context gives the bass an even more rebellious quality. And we're not talking about an obscure bass line that nobody knows. Oh no, it's right there inside McKagan's most famous bass riff ever. Sweet Child of Mine begins with Slash playing what is probably the most iconic and most heard guitar intro of all time. The guitar part uses the root, 2nd, major 3rd, 4th and 5th of the D major scale. There's no 7th, so we're either spelling a D major chord, which belongs to the key of D major, or a D dominant 7th chord, which belongs to the key of G major. The rhythm guitar plays a D major chord, so we're good both ways. The 2nd chord, however, is a C major, which does not belong to the key of D major, but belongs to the key of G major. So the D scale we mentioned before has to be a D mixolydian, bringing us in the key of G major. But since the song always resolves on the D chord, we can also arguably say that we're in the key of D mixolydian. So the 2nd chord, C, should be a C Lydian chord, belonging to the key of G major, but listen to what the bass plays. Duff hits an F, or a perfect 4th on the C chord that's been played, instead of an augmented 4th belonging to the C Lydian scale. And it's not a passing note, it's played twice, very clearly. A few days ago I was gigging with the GNR tribute band, and while playing I started paying attention. Yeah, that's what I think about while I'm gigging. And I noticed that it's not an isolated episode either. On Knocking on Heaven's Doors, for example, the same exact rebellious F comes up many times during the song. Here you can hear it loud and clear. The piano is playing a C dominant 7th chord, a major chord, and again the bass hits the perfect 4th of the C chord. Pretty Tied Up is another example. The bass hits an F during the intro over a clear D major guitar lick, so once again we have the bass spelling a D minor while the guitar is playing a D major. You may even say it's dissonant, and though this could be normal in a jazz context, it's pretty unexpected for a band like Guns N' Roses. And listen to Yesterday's. Same exact thing. Again, the rebellious F comes up to bring the punk coefficient in the music of GNR. Yeah, Duff McKagan and the rebellious F, that's a good name for a band. But the real question is, does it sound bad or at least not appealing to the ear? Well, it should, because it's non-diatonic, or at least it's not something you would find on a Bon Jovi album. But to me, to the contrary, it's a pretty cool little nuance that makes Duff an even cooler player than what he already is. So thank you John Cirola for posting the observation that inspired this video. Thank you everybody for watching, please subscribe, leave a thumb up and follow me on Instagram.